Libran, gorgeous Libran clan, hi. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you today because the energy for July is such a whirlwind. It is such a whirlwind, and your notes that came up for me were so interesting and powerful. Libra really stood out to me this month as far as what you're going to be experiencing. It's subtle, it's quieter, but there's a lot happening. And the note that I have for you is getting down to business. Cosmic downloads about your destiny. Listen in carefully because there's so much retrograde action going on in July, as well as eclipses. So we have this dual energy of retrograde action and eclipses that both are working to help us refine our vision and slow down enough to listen in. And the way that it's affecting you is really personal because, we have Mars, this planet of action and forward movement, retrograde in your fifth house of Aquarius all month. So, where you're creative, where you're romantic, where you want to make and do in the world is getting a little moment of incorporation. Not only that, but we have, Jupiter is going to be going direct in your second house of money. It's going direct in Scorpio, which is really powerful. I think that re-expansion of monetary and physical potential is going to be coming in. Already, the Ace of Cups popped out, my Librans. All right, I like it a lot. So we have those two things happening. That leads into, Cancer season for you is so interesting. This is 10th house energy. Who you are, how you present yourself in the world, your reputation, your drive, your ambition, all that business-oriented stuff of how you put yourself forward in the world is really getting highlighted. And then not only that, but we have a new moon in Cancer on the 13th. It's a partial solar eclipse. Pretty much nobody is going to be able to see this partial solar eclipse, but the energy is there. This energy of closing out old cycles, opening up new ones. Eclipses are such great incorporation energy. You can really use it to advantage. So as you can see, Empress, there's that Jupiter and Scorpio going direct. Second house. Money. Oh, yeah. And not only that, but you have Venus as well going into, I think on the same day as the new moon, Venus is going into your 12th house. It's going into Virgo, the sign right before you. So you can see, there's that incorporation. As you can see, there's a lot of hidden energy all surrounding Libra everywhere. We have Venus in Virgo right next to you. We have Jupiter going direct in Scorpio right next to you. We have your 10th house getting lit up by this eclipse. And then not only that, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse that will be seen in the southern hemisphere on July 27th. That is in Aquarius, your fifth house, revolutionizing how and what you're creating in the world. As you can see, Nine of Pentacles. There's a lot of abundance around you, Libra, which I really like. I like to see that for you all. There's a calm as well with your energy. Like when I was writing down the note for you and I was feeling through your energy, I realized that you are one of the signs that has this calm assertiveness. And I think it's because you are connecting in with your life purpose. You are connecting in with your calling. You are getting these quiet infusions of ideas, not, major download ideas, which is just fantastic. So, listening in is going to be key for you this month. Major downloads coming in. Not only downloads, but also infusions of support. Ooh, Devil. Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. Interesting. You're getting a lot of, but where I was going is not only the idea downloads, but the physical support, the material support. The fact that you got King of Pentacles and the Devil, that is real world support. And Libra, I think, with your air energy and your ability to think, it's like, okay, we can download ideas right and left, no problem. I'm on it. But to have some grounding and to have that material support around you, I think is something you've actually been kind of craving and wanting. Having grounding as an air sign is a really beautiful thing because it ties you in a different aspect, right? It helps you to utilize all your profound brain power in a really effective manner. And that's what I'm seeing here. Emperor and Eight of Swords, of course. Okay. So those are our 8 cards. I'm going to be pulling a final card at the end here after we've talked through these first ones from my Cosmic Tarot to give us the overarching, but I haven't pulled it yet, and I'm not going to until we talk through all this grounding that I am seeing for you. All this initiation, all this power, all this integration. Now, because July is such a roller coaster, and because Cancer season itself is about dreams, it's about secrets, it's about the internal, no matter what your house placements are, Cancer energy is quite secretive. It's quite under the radar in so many ways. Like, you can utilize this energy, and everybody needs to utilize this energy in a quieter way without being reactive to the exterior world whatsoever. So we're all kind of having to deal with that. Also with the retrogrades and the eclipses, there is a sense here that anything we're working on, anything we're working toward needs to be for ourselves before we put it out there into the world. And so you're going to be noticing that. You are getting the infusions. You are getting the external affirmation. However, this month, because of how it is, we're all just getting the first tastes. And what I'm seeing here is some very simple, quiet energy. You can be the master of the retrogrades and eclipses. Use the energy of these transits to master your skill set. Don't let the transits master you. And that is what I will say. And that's for everybody, but that's just been coming through for me. So don't let it get too in your mind, right? Because look at what we have for the first 4 cards for the first half of this month. We've got some power going on here. These are fantastic. There's so much support and positivity in these cards, as you can see. Like I said, Jupiter going direct in your 2nd house is going to feel really good for you guys, I think. I think that's going to feel absolutely stellar. Because, you know, like I said, having the infusion of abundance, you know, having that cash flow pop in can be really useful. And not only that, but this speaks of emotional abundance as well. You know, Venus being in your 12th house, that's the house of secrets in Virgo. Virgo for you is this place of secrets, of the higher spiritual ascendance. It's a hidden place inside of ourselves, but it's actually our greatest power point, because not the presentation, but where we can utilize it the most, right? How does Ace of Cups, Empress energy work? It works by knowing, right? The knowing at the core. So what I'm seeing here for you energetically is this may be under the radar. This may be very private. Maybe you are having some really good conversations with a possible business partner or lover or somebody in your home environment about possibilities of building something, but it's not quite ready for prime time yet. However, if you know these things are coming to you, they just attract to you in a much easier way. So one thing you're going to want to utilize the other retrograde planets, because we have Mars in retrograde, we have Saturn retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde, we have Jupiter retrograde till the 10th, we have Mercury is going retrograde in Leo in your 11th house of your friendships as well at the very end of the month. We have so much retrograde action, and what that refers us back to is that the material getting of things isn't the goal. The goal is to sit here and have our knowing, right? So I see a lot of abundance coming in for you. Yes, it's quiet. It may be stuff that you can't tell a lot of people about quite yet. You know, pregnancies or business ideas, very creative, abundant things that are really positive and really happy, and yet for some reason you may not be able to share it all. So it's kind of that thing of keeping that secret to yourself and having that kind of secretive smile on your face and knowing that give it a couple more months, and once we hit your birthday season, you're going to be really happy you just took your time so that you can enjoy the reveal, right? And that's what I see here as well with these two. So more of this abundance around you. What I do see is a stability in your surroundings, enough so that you can spend some time meditating and getting your downloads and having very practical conversations, enough so that you can get your budget in order, so that you can simplify, perhaps, simplify your house. Also get your mission statement in order, right? The Four of Swords is integration energy. It's rest energy. It's nap energy. And I tell you what, Cancer season, if there is a season for naps, it is Cancer season, especially with all the retrogrades. But it doesn't have to be that. Spend some time in nature. Spend some time gardening. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, this is a beautiful time of year. It's very warm. It's very languid. And in the winter, for those in the Southern Hemisphere getting to enjoy the total lunar eclipse at the end of the month, this is a great time to prep, because you're in that mode of, you plant your winter seeds and you let the snow melt over them and then they spring up, right? So however you want to look at this, there is this kind of prune your garden, get your budget in order, get everything practically done this month. Get it figured out. If you have a junk closet that's annoying you, clean it out. If you have paperwork that's been kind of haunting you in the background and you haven't wanted to focus on it, do it. If you have conversations you want to have, especially before Mercury goes retrograde, take a moment and have them, because what I'm seeing is you having a very solid, grounded foundation. And from that is springing so much abundance. There's a lot of trust here. There's a lot of consistency here the first half of the month. Now, the second half of the month, we start to get into some more of this powerful energy. You have such big power players here around you, Libra, the second half of the month. And this is where, and I have to say, once we hit the Cancer new moon and then we head into the second half of the month, we are looking at a very complicated, intense combos of energy. Everybody's going to be feeling a little frazzled. Everybody's going to be a little bit foggy, a little bit questioning some things about their own lives, so keep that in mind. And you do have these strong personalities coming through. So we have King of Pentacles, Devil, Eight of Swords, and the Emperor. And as you can see, you have a lot of cardinal energy coming in here, because Devil is associated with Capricorn, we have Emperor associated with Aries, and then we have more of the Taurus energy here. And as you know, being one of the cardinal signs with retrograde action always experience that in an interesting way. It's really against your nature not to be pushing forward and, initiating, getting things done, getting in there, getting into the ring. With the retrograde action, it doesn't necessarily feel natural to you, right? And it's so interesting that you're having the other cardinal energies here. Now, I do sense that you may have some personalities around you that are pushing at you or feeling impatient with you or wanting you to do things on their schedule. Especially with the Devil and the Emperor. The Emperor is your opposite sign of Aries, and they're also going to be dealing with similar challenges, because opposite signs often have this symbiotic experience of the energies, because you're mirroring back at each other with house placements. Aries is going to be going through similar things. So you may find that if you do have Aries in your life, or you do have Capricorns in your life that are wanting to get these conversations going, get the budgets done, there's a potential the second half of the month for that to feel like too much and to feel really intense and feel overwhelming and to feel like you can't keep on top of it all. So, that's why the Eight of Swords here in the middle is kind of showing up, I think, because what this is telling me is, first of all, don't let anybody get in your head about what they think the schedule needs to be. Don't let anybody tell you that you should have already figured it out, because once again, with the eclipses and the retrogrades, they're reminding you that anything that needs to be rushed through isn't really about longevity. And what we're trying to do here, Libra, especially with you and your energy, is we're planting seeds that are focused on longevity, that are focused on consistency over time, so that you can rely on it, so that you can build that legacy you want to build, so that you can show up for those things, so you can make that investment, buy that house, or put those savings away, or, make that move, or even, with your relationships, have it be consistent over time. And the Eight of Swords for me is always a protective energy. This is a gentle, soft energy that is about, it takes away your sight, it takes away your ability to move so that you can check in. The downside to the Eight of Swords, and something to look out for, especially with your ability to use your analytical mind so clearly. You know, you're so great at this. And as you know, it can get you spinning out and worried if you're not doing enough, right? Especially because because you have to keep things quiet, because it's going to be a restful time. It may feel a little nerve-wracking to have to keep it to yourself, or to have to like rest a little bit. But don't worry, things are coming full circle. Because the other way to look at these three energies around you with the Eight of Swords is that these are energies of getting infusions of what you need. You have the material infusions coming in here, and you have the directional, focused vision coming in here. And all of that is around you. It's kind of this thing of the abundance is everywhere around you. It's cocooning you in this nice knowing. There's a lot of teasing energy here where it's like, you're going to get it. Don't worry. It's going to come through. Don't worry. Ooh, this is starting to work out. Don't worry. It's not all coming in today, but and you know, there's going to be a temptation to want to latch on and say, okay, I have it. But just knowing that it's there is going to be a lot of the fun of this month. So let's pull our final card for the day from my Cosmic Tarot. I'm really curious to see what Libra has, because you have, like I said, it's an interesting combo of energy, don't you think? I mean, this half of my deck almost just fell all over the floor. So just one moment while I feel through this deck. Five of Swords, very interesting. You know, that's interesting to me because, so Five of Swords is like lack of trust getting into your head. Also, maybe you don't feel you can trust somebody around you. And like I was saying, you have these dominant personalities kind of all around you. So this is a good month not to be reactive to the external world. Once again, that's going to be a temptation for everybody. Mars is the closest to Earth it ever gets this month. It's also retrograde, aggravated energy here. Everybody's a little on edge. Everybody's a little up in their heads this month. And I'm not surprised the Five of Swords is coming out, because if you do happen to be working with stronger personalities, difficult personalities who are pushing you, try your best to just step back and go rest, set your boundaries so that you have your rest space, and give it, you know, a few days before reacting to anything, right? Don't make assumptions this month. The Five of Swords can sometimes be about making assumptions on either side. And sometimes if you let those moments cool, it's a very good thing. And I do think it might, you know, you might get some infusions of information that are kind of surprising or worrisome. But just because it seems like that on the surface, if you let it settle out for a week, you'll notice that actually it's not as scary as it seems. Once again, I'm doing your reading near the end of the whole cycle of readings this month, and so I'm getting a sense of where all the other signs are. And one of the things I'm noticing is everybody's sense of reality is a little funny this month. So keep that in mind. I don't think there's anything you need to really be looking out for other than pushing too hard. Don't push an agenda too hard. Give it time to fully develop. Watch, pay attention, listen. You know, you can kind of be the silent observer this month, and you will get a lot of information about where to put next. And you will be kind of in that chess game of life, if you want to think about it that way, though whether or not it really is another conversation. But if you're kind of watching and paying attention, you'll be able to make that move when we hit August and we're in Leo season and we are in this 11th house expansive energy for you. You'll be able to make movements that are very strategically advantageous to you. And I see you getting the upper hand in the end. So keep that in mind. This is also a great month. I do want to point out that this is a really good relationship month for Librans. I'm looking here. I know it's a lot about business and your legacy in the world, and that's the energy. But you did start out this month with the Goddess of Love and an Ace of Cups. So for those of you getting involved with somebody, also don't get reactive. Enjoy the ride, take it slow, take your time, don't worry about it too much. You have a lot of positive energy around you, and you just want to really indulge in the slowness of it all. And I know you're a cardinal sign. It's an interesting month to say the least energetically. So I hope that you have a beautiful July, my beautiful Librans. I am sitting here with PinkLune's jewelry. Go check her out for 15% off. She just does the most beautiful, elegant, handmade, ethically sourced jewelry you can find anywhere. She will be in the description box. You can work with me. Follow me on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. I love seeing my friends and my family over there, so I hope I see you all. And you can also work with me. I'm doing video readings in August. I will be traveling, so at the end of August and into September, I will be doing live Skype readings, phone readings with you lovelies. So please go check out my email or my website if you're interested in any of that. I would love to work with you. I'm sitting here with Jill Sam's gorgeous artwork. We have this Cancer painting for the Cancer season, gorgeous, and then she's got a lot more, and she has prints on her website, so if you're interested in those, go check her out. I will leave her stuff in the description box, and I will see you all in August for more adventures. I love you so much. Bye.